I preached for 12 years. After God healed me of tuberculosis and a stuttering, stammering tongue, without praying for the sick in any manner. And yet I believed in praying for the sick. I knew God had called me. He had said, son, I'm going to heal you of tuberculosis and a stammering tongue. And you're to take my healing power to your generation. But somehow I'd got lost. I had misunderstood. I had failed. Then, in 1947, something happened to me. There was a man who had suffered a terrible accident. He had dropped a heavy object upon his right foot and crushed it. They had called me for prayer. I called a friend, and we rushed out there. When we arrived, the man was suffering so intensely, he was rolling on the ground, holding his foot in his hand, and hollering at the top of his voice. I was struck with compassion. And before I knew what I had done, I had stooped down and touched his right foot in the name of Christ. I straightened up and stepped back. He stopped rolling on the ground. He stopped hollering. Slowly he got up. He began to work his foot back and forth. He took his shoe off his foot, which had been crushed. He stomped his foot on the ground. He said, Brother Roberts, what did you do to me? I said, nothing. I was as scared as he was. He said, yes, you did. I said, no, I didn't. He said, when you touched me, what did you do? I said, I asked Christ to heal you. He said, I'm healed. He said, look at my foot. And look at that heavy object I dropped on it. He said, look, I'm healed. My friend standing by me said, Brother Roberts, can you do that all the time? I said, no. He said, if you could bring a revival to mankind. And for months, I heard his words. Can you do this all the time? No. If you could bring a revival to all mankind. I thought to myself, this is what Christ did. This is the power he gave his followers 2,000 years ago. This is what God told me to do when he healed me. Son, I'm going to heal you. You're to take my healing power to your generation. Why and how have I failed God? Then one night I had a dream. And I had this dream every night for several nights. I'd never walked in my sleep. But every night I woke up, walking in my sleep, sobbing and crying and praying. One night my wife found me. She woke me and said, Oral, what are you doing in here? I woke up and I looked at her. And I said, honey, I don't know. She took me back in the bedroom and we sat down on the side of the bed. She said, Oral, you've been doing this for several nights. Something is wrong. What is it? And I told her my dream. I've never told many people this dream, but I'm going to tell it to you now. I dreamed in that dream that God opened my eyes and let me see as God sees. And he showed me the human race. He brought the people by me, by the multiplied millions, and let me see them as they are. And this is what I saw. I saw the vast majority of all people are sick and afflicted in some way, either in soul, mind, or body, or in all at the same time. And God let me hear the screaming cry of their tormented condition. He let me see the cancer, the tumor, the tuberculosis, the little afflicted children. He let me hear them scream in the night. And that was the dream that woke me up and caused me to sob and pray as I was doing. Evelyn said, Oral, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. And then God showed me what to do. He said, take your Bible, your New Testament, take Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the book of Acts, the first 5 books in your New Testament, read them through consecutively 3 different times upon your knees in 1 month, and I'll show you Jesus. And I did that at various intervals. I would get on my knees, I would spread my Bible out, and I would read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the book of Acts 3 different times in 30 days. And at the end of that time, God had shown me Jesus of Nazareth. He seemed to rise up from those pages. He seemed to stand up in my presence, and he had a gentle hand on his wrist. He had a tenderness in his spirit. He was filled with love and compassion. And I saw him reaching to the right and reaching to the left, healing the sick, loving little children, reaching out his hands to the whole world to heal them, to save them, and to make them whole. He said, now, you be like that. And you heal the people as he healed. Then I knew I would have to do it.